Super important, because if you're at a 660 and you need a 680 to move into a line of credit, you may be super surprised how quickly you can increase that score just by applying your payments on these credit cards differently than just hitting that due date. Okay, that's what they want you to do. They want you to keep that on a 25-day cycle so that they can charge you the max interest. We are trying to think outside of the box. How can we beat some interest? Just like with this. So in this scenario, if they keep using this formula, they're going to be beating down this interest and the balance of this line every single month, which means that you're talking about, let's just run some numbers. So the average interest, and then the cash flow going in. You're talking about this being paid off in easily 17 months. No, that's wrong numbers. That's what I thought. I must have added instead of divided. In about 11 months max. Max for 15,000. Some of you would be amazed to see a $15,000 debt being paid off in less than a year. But this can move so much faster depending on the last 5 cards that I had listed up here. If he was working all of those at the same time, then that $1,700 in monthly payments that he's making over all the credit cards could be turned back into one line at a time. Well, if you add another 1,000 per month going into this, it's not going to take no 11 months to pay off. How are you using your credit cards? How are you paying onto that mortgage? Remember, these lines of credit, the loans especially, they're set up to make money. So you're going to pay interest. It's how much interest are you going to pay? There are so many options. Money Max is your fastest option to eliminating interest. That's what it does, is eliminates interest. They are having a free webinar tonight at 7 p.m. Central Time, and that link is underneath the YouTube videos. So if you want to go check out what the Money Max can do and why it eliminates interest for you, please go there. That's completely free live webinar for you to sit and watch how that system works. But if you just watch the YouTube videos on Fantastic, you're going to get ideas on eliminating interest on your own. It won't be as fast as it would be with a Money Max system, for example, but it's going to make a whole lot of difference in what you're doing right now and how you're doing it. You just need to get educated. If I can do this, anybody can, because I have to have a calculator to do everything. And it's basic math. Okay? So you have to decide what strategy is going to work for you, because if you're in debt right now, there is a strategy to get you out so much faster than you ever thought was possible. And I know a lot of you are thinking, you just don't know my situation. Well, you didn't know mine. I look at situations every day. And the only situations that I have found that are really, really tough are the retirees that are there were two of you. And maybe, your spouse passed away and now you're on one income, Social Security, and you can no longer make your house payment because the spouse, his income, her income went away when they passed away, and you're trying to figure it out. That's my worst case scenarios. And God bless you guys that are living on Social Security and you're trying to make it. You're my saddest case. But we can't work it out most of the time. But guys, if you are old enough to still be working or young enough to still be working, if you have a 2-income family, you have no excuses. You can make this happen for you. If debt is your problem and you have income coming in that's above Social Security, like I said, the average American income is about $5,600 a month right now. There's some retirees that are living on $1,200, $1,300 a month. That's when it gets super tough and super sad. But if you are just a regular American out here working a job and you have debt, you would be super surprised to learn how quickly you can be out of that when you get educated on what your options are. If you're just making payments right now thinking you're just being a good American citizen, then yeah, they're super excited that you're just sitting making payments, but it's not going to get you brownie points. Ask that retiree that I was just talking about that's living on Social Security right now. They always made their payments on time for the last 50 years. They made their payments on time, didn't miss one, wasn't late. What good is that doing them today when they don't have the income to pay that house payment anymore? What good did 50 years of making mortgage payments do for them? Zero. As a matter of fact, the bank is all too ready to take their home.